Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says Iran has no intention of talking to the U.S. unless all sanctions are lifted. This after President Trump said he was willing to meet with Rouhani for a new nuclear deal.
In the meantime, they have to be good players. Their economy is tanked entirely. The sanctions are absolutely hurting them horribly. But we can't let them have a nuclear weapon. Can't let it happen. So I think that there's a really good chance that we would meet.
Joining me now, retired four-star General, Fox News Senior Strategic Analyst General Jack Keane. General, is there any way that the U.S. would lift these sanctions in order to just have talks with Iran?
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is the tactical mistake that the previous administration had made with the Iranians when they wanted to sit down and talk about three things: nuclear weapons, ballistic missiles, and Iran's behavior, aggressive, malign behavior in the region. Iran said, we'll only talk if what's on the table is only nuclear missiles. And we agreed to that. And from that point on, the talks never went in the right direction. This administration is too savvy for that. We're not going to give up on the one leverage, Dagan, that we have, which are these sanctions. Listen, the Iranians are back on their heels. President Trump is in the driver's seat here. All he needs to do is have some patience and resolve. And eventually the Iranians will come to them without these preconditions on the table.
At what point do the Iranians come to the United States? Because I'll point out, this is a note from the Eurasia Group. The greatest barrier, and this is a French initiative, this new idea of sitting down, with President Trump and Rouhani sitting down. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has stridently rejected Trump's brand of personal diplomacy. So that's part of what's going on here.
No, absolutely. The Supreme Leader calls the shots here, and that's why Rouhani, who in the first 24 hours, or less than that, had agreed to meet with the president in so many words. And then I'm sure once it got to the Supreme Leader, like this has happened in the past, he rejected. He's the key actor and player here, to be sure. And the Iranians, listen, this is the toughest adversary we're dealing with. Russia, China, North Korea. It is the Iranians. Since 1979, they have never, ever changed their objective: dominate and control the Middle East, acquire nuclear weapons, do all that at the expense of the United States and our allies, and kill as many of us if possible to put us in the right direction to move out of the Middle East. And they have been steady about that for all of these years. So they are focused, and we got to hang tough here with them. We cannot be given in, certainly.
No more money. And by the way, this story just broke on the Wall Street Journal website. The U.S. is reported looking to initiate direct talks with the Iran-backed Houthi forces in Yemen. The Wall Street Journal saying that the Trump administration wants to push Saudi Arabia in taking part in these negotiations. Put this in perspective in terms of what is happening with Iran. Is this trying to take some power away from Iran by initiating negotiations, General?
Well, we must have some information that the public, isn't privy to in terms of intelligence, and where are the Houthis in their own mind? Are they starting to get worn down by this protracted conflict? We may have some insights to that. And I do think getting the key actors in the region involved here, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and the Houthis themselves. Now, remember, for our audience, the Houthis are the proxies of the Iranians. They toppled the regime friendly to the United States and to our allies in the region. And every single weapon that they're firing is provided to them by the Iranians. When they shoot down a drone, it's the missile the Iranians gave them. When they fire at infrastructure, oil infrastructure in Saudi Arabia, that is provided by the Iranians. So they will be in the back seat, to be sure, and the Houthis will be on something of a string when they go forward to have negotiations. But possibly something good could come out of it. This is a major humanitarian crisis of significant proportion that's happening to the people in Yemen. And if we can get this fighting stopped so they can get medical assistance and food and relieve some of the famine, that would be a huge step.
I want to turn to Hong Kong and the unrest there, General. Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam says that she has had meetings about the ongoing protests, saying the violence stemming from the demonstrations could lead to a police crackdown. Listen to this.
Starting a dialogue doesn't mean that we will condone violence. If violence continues, the only thing that we should do is to stem out that violence through law enforcement actions.
Lam also saying there's no need for Beijing to intervene. General, where do we go from here, or where does Hong Kong go from here?
Well, first of all, Beijing has intervened. Carrie Lam, while always a stooge, is just a figurehead now. She offered her resignation. They rejected it. They're calling the shots. She's got Communist Chinese Party advisors around her. The police officials in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong police officials now have CCP, Communist Chinese police advisors that are involved in population control around them. The CCP is calling the shots here, and this is the problem of a repressive authoritarian regime. They don't want to show any weakness. And to their minds, weakness, just sitting down with the protesters and trying to work out a deal, given some of their requests. What do they really want? Officially withdraw the extradition piece of legislation. Let's deal with those who you arrested for committing a crime by participating in riots, and there's a minimum of 8-year sentence to it. And let's talk about universal suffrage for officials inside of Hong Kong. Those are their demands. They're not unreasonable, but they are for an authoritarian regime. This is going to continue, to be sure, Dagan.
General, great to see you as always. A pleasure.
Good talking to you.
An honor. General Jack Keane.